Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out True Off My Chest. Story 1. My mom asked my sister for my own opinion when I was in the room with them both. I'm a junior in college and my mom and sister came to my dorm to help me unpack on move-in day. My mom has always favorited my twin sister and unknowingly would single me out. I can understand why. She's very charismatic while I'm not. With being a twin I will always be compared to her and that's something I've learned to accept. But while we were unpacking my mom wanted to know how I wanted the fairy lights in my room. So she turns to my sister and says, "Where do you think, my name, would want these?" When I was only 2 feet away from them both. She could have asked me but I guess she thinks I'm too stupid to answer. I'm sick of feeling invisible and incapable to make my own decisions. I got angry with her and said, "Why do you keep talking about me like I'm not even here?" My mom didn't respond and they mocked me for getting mad. I feel like this has also led me to live a double life. Story 2. My best friend, the person that was next to me during the harshest moments in my life, has become unrecognizable. It seems that the only thing that matters to her is to maintain an unattainable image of perfection. She has become just so narcissistic. I miss her. Firstly, I will refer to her as Chocolate Girl and I will go as Curly Man. We met some time ago, our friendship sprouted and grew and for some time we used to talk for long intervals of time, like 2 hours a day minimum. Honestly, it was great. She was a different woman, she was funny, she was not a person who only cares about appearances, she was understanding and most importantly, we cared about each other. She knew me in my weakest moments, she knew everything about me. I have never trusted a person on that level. But of course, all good things come to an end. She simply started changing, she made new friends but all those friends just have the propose of making her feel like a goats. I've tried interacting with them but they only talk about her, they just feed her ego, their conversation all revolve around how cool she is and all. Personally I don't think that sounds like a friendship, but if you think otherwise I will be glad to read your opinions. I've tried to talk with her again, I've reached out for her just to talk more and close the gap within us, but all she enjoys is bragging on how strong and pretty she is. It sucks. I don't think I will ever trust someone as I trusted her. Story 3. The Blessing of Crying. The other day my wife came home really sad. She is having a tough time at her job. I listened to her and tried to console her. We were with the kids in their room and I was just going to get something and the kids came running and saying that my wife was crying. We all went there and I hugged her. We all hugged her. That was all we could do. I know she sometimes need a good crying to let go of things. While I was hugging her and she was crying I realized what a blessing it is to be able to cry. I rarely cry. I have done it maybe 3 to 4 times in the last 9 years. But it felt awkward and like I couldn't let it all out. Instead I have acted out by watching porn when I have felt stressed and anxious. To the point where I felt it became an addiction. Thankfully I am dealing with that in therapy now and have made progress. But crying is still so fleeting to me. I had a time where I felt like I was going to cry for anything. I watched Toy Story 4. And at the ending I felt like I was going to cry. But I felt ashamed. My wife and kids were there. What would they say about a man in his mid-30s crying to a kids' movie? But it touched me. Maybe it was because it was reminding me of my childhood. I regret I didn't cry then. I tried to watch it again alone but it didn't feel the same. I wish I could cry more without feeling shame and feeling less of a man. It's a dumb idea. I really think it's dumb to think that it is wrong for a man to cry but I still feel ashamed when I do. My wife felt better afterwards and I know she will make it through. And I have no doubt that her crying gives her strength. I wish I could get to the place where I could cry freely and from the heart without feeling ashamed. Story 4. I regret marrying my husband. I should have listened to my mother. Edit. I know I've been stupid, I know I'm fucking mentally challenged for allowing this to happen to me. I was blinded by love and fed with lies and manipulation. He promised me so many things, and I tried to be accommodating to his situation. I've scheduled an abortion for September 27, 10:30 a.m. I just ask that you all please be kind. I'm going through enough as is, and for you all to make some sort of joke out of me just feels even worse. I posted on Reddit because I wanted some sort of reassurance that I'll be okay, not to be ridiculed. Edit 2, getting a lot of message requests asking me to kill myself. Thanks guys, you're all so wonderful. Edit 3, forgot to clarify we only got married last month. And yes, it's legally viable and court stamped. I just want to provide some context. My husband has been married previously, and have existing 2 young kids below the age of 10, wonderful children. I treat them as my own even. However, the ex-wife hasn't been particularly great to me, and has caused us many issues throughout the course of our relationship. They are still residing together in the same house but in different bedrooms for the sake of co-parenting. She doesn't even know that he is married to me. As per lawyer's advice to him, it's best to not reveal this information as it may trigger her and cause her to disagree with the existing co-parenting plan, which is that the kids primarily reside with my husband other than the weekend. I just found out I was pregnant 2 days ago, and waiting for my first prenatal appointment at 7 weeks in October, and was extremely excited to start this chapter in my life. My husband and I agreed that we would hold off from telling anyone until we hit 3 months, so as to have everything stable, so I haven't even told my own parents who already disapprove of my husband. I already feel so incredibly sad and depressed. I get to see my husband once a week at most. He's staying with his ex-wife. He won't tell his ex-wife about our marriage, because he thinks that she will not let the kids move out with him if he does, and I just feel so fucking alone. I feel like I have nobody to turn to, and I feel so miserable going through all of this alone. We will move in together in our new home in November, and I'll be 3 months by then. By the time the children live with us I'll be 4 months, and he's telling me that his lawyers advised that the ex-wife who hates me should be allowed in our home to check out the house. I understand it's because of co-parenting, but I already feel so miserable as is. The ex-wife literally told me that if I ever get pregnant with his child, I should remember my place and that I'll never come before her and her kids. I just don't want to be in this position and I feel so lost. My mother told me that this would be exactly the problem, and I defended him again and again and told her this is what I wanted. I completely fucked over my relationship with my parents for a guy who doesn't even prioritize me or our marriage. And now I am pregnant with his child, that he wanted so badly, and I'm still not a priority. Story 5. Update: I'm still living with my ex who got me a cruise for my birthday. So I don't even know what to say about the past 2 weeks since I last posted. I had hoped to do a real quick update saying I was good, out of the lease, found a place, but I can't say that. First, the leasing office offered me a way out of the place and it's really expensive. We have 4 months left and there is no way I could afford to break this lease, find a new place, move, put down a deposit and everything else that comes along with moving. If my ex and I break the lease together it is significantly cheaper, but he has refused, so I have no choice but to live with him. I have a few places in mind and I'm eligible, so I will just deal with this for now. I moved all of my things to a storage unit and put all my important documents into a safe location elsewhere. I have to get furniture for my new place since it was his place I moved into, but other than that, I already have everything else you would need. When it comes to my ex, I don't even know how to describe what is happening. It honestly feels like these last 17 days have been happening to someone else. He won't let me out of the lease because he thinks we can fix this. First, he tried to gaslight me because he said the things on the list didn't happen. Asshole, where do you think I got an accurate recollection of what you did and the dates? Text messages. When I told him that the texts showed him either confirming what I said, doing the opposite and then apologizing, his face dropped. You can lie all you want, but I literally have evidence to back up my memory. Then this brilliant idiot decided, you know what, I'm going to look at the list and pick things I did wrong and do them right. So he started picking things he had done wrong and then doing it right without any input from me. You know, it's the biggest mindfuck to realize that he could have done this right from the start. None of these were mistakes. He knew exactly what he was doing and didn't care about what I wanted or needed if he thought his idea was better. I had people message me asking what was on the list, and you know what, when I find the time, I will rewrite the whole list with screenshots. I will give a few examples now. One was when I asked him to pick up an orchid for me since I would be working late all week. Orchids were my grandmother's favorite flower and she died a couple of years ago. Sometimes I really miss her, so I get some of her favorite flowers and having them around really helps my mood. He decided to pick up roses and I remember seeing the roses and saying, "Why did you get me roses when I asked for an orchid?" and him saying that he thought these were better and prettier. Another example was when he took my car to a different mechanic because he thought the one I had used for 5 years was trying to scam me when he literally was going to patch up 2 tires that happened to get a nail. Did he even meet my mechanic? No, he didn't. He just decided to take my car somewhere else. I took my car to my mechanic who charged me $20 to fix my 2 tires and he's literally my friend. The last was when I was invited to a party that had an ex-friend invited who had tried to SA another friend of mine. I told my BF, "You can go, but I'm not going out of solidarity with my friend if that guy is going to be there." He promised that he had heard from the planner that the guy had said no to coming. He lied and my friend and I were shocked to see the guy there. I almost lost my friendship with my friend because my ex thought that we shouldn't miss out on a party because he could prevent the guy from approaching us. My ex would do things like this all the time and each time I would be livid because he promised to do something for me and then would veto my decision to go for what he felt was best before discussing it with me. I take full responsibility for enabling this behavior, but I honestly thought at the time that I was compromising and he fully took advantage of that. At the time I thought, wow, yeah, he's not doing what I wanted but he's still doing these things and it's misguided but he's trying. I did go to my close friends and sister to vent and I would hear, "Oh, but at least he still got you flowers. I can't remember the last time I got roses, he was looking out for you." Some mechanics are leeches, he was trying to be a protector when he lied about the party. I realize now that these responses made me feel bad and helped me accept the behavior because when I vented to my friends and sister, I got feedback that made it seem like I was ungrateful and that he was a BF who made mistakes, but at least he tried. I also didn't realize the sheer amount of bullshit I put up with. Writing it down and seeing the list get longer and longer when you have barely scratched the surface, you're like, how did I get here? How did I let so many things slide? Where the fuck did my backbone go? I will say the backbone is back and I'm not tolerating any of this. Anytime my ex tries to talk to me about things not regarding the lease, I tell him to push through it. Your feelings are hurt, push through it. You still love me, push through it. You're in pain, push through it. You did something nice for me but I'm ignoring it, push through it. You paid for couples counseling and I didn't show up, push through it. I don't give a shit. He keeps asking why I'm fine and honestly I think a part of me checked out a long time ago, grieved this relationship, and that part was waiting for the rest of me to catch up and I have. As for my friends and family, I have told them the relationship is done and that's my decision and that it's none of their business. When a few of them tried to make me feel bad about the cruise and how they wish someone would do that for them, I told them that their husbands/boyfriends not even doing the bare minimum for them doesn't mean that I should accept my ex's shitty behavior. I told them that maybe they should concentrate on why they're so do nothing for them instead of trying to get me to accept things I don't want or need just because my ex happened to try. Not going to lie, that response took me a couple of hours to articulate and some of them aren't talking to me now, but oh well. So that's my life currently. I'm living in the guest room and my ex is still trying. He's very annoyed and hurt, but that's not my problem. He is basically holding me hostage, so I don't care about his feelings. I have made it clear we are roommates. I don't cook, clean, or do anything for him. Honestly, I barely speak to him and I ignore his calls and texts when not at home. If he won't let me out of the lease, I will treat him like a stranger. I will not harm him or destroy any of his things, but I'm going to actively ignore his entire existence for the next 4 months. Either he deals with this or he lets me out of the lease. Other than that, I'm doing really good and working on myself and maintaining boundaries and not letting people take advantage anymore. Edit, I'm okay. I already have a camera in my room that my phone is connected to and a lock installed. The leasing office knows that I'm leaving. I have informed everyone from my school to work to close friends. I don't have family close by except for my sister who I can't live with. As for friends, I do have a few who are sane, but I'm in a degree program that I can't leave since I'm almost done and they live too far away for me to logistically make it work. Trust me, I explored every other option I had before I landed on this. It was literally a last resort. I'll be as careful as I can be. I don't think he will do anything to me, but also, that's what a lot of people say, so I have taken every precaution I can. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.